This is a plot twist. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 11th episode of the show Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, as well as the 349th episode overall, titled From Deep in the Shadows. We begin this episode in the Aqua Base. Joel is running around the hallways. We see things being hooked up to Carter, and a new morpher getting put on his wrist. Scientists are standing by, as are the other Rangers, Miss Fairweather and Mitchell. They're about to begin. Joel finally shows up, taking off his hat, as Carter gets ready to open the morpher. Titanium power. His body starts to react to the morpher, turning into a different Ranger for a few flashes, but it's clearly really painful and not working. But these shots are done super well. Carter collapses and it ends. The others rush in and he says he's okay, out of breath. I guess that didn't work. In Mitchell's office, Miss Fairweather tells Mitchell they shouldn't continue to test the titanium powers. They're too powerful for a human. She starts to leave and Mitchell says it would have been fantastic, somber. Miss Fairweather agrees, leaving. He gets up, opening up a safe on his wall, placing the morpher into it and relocking it. He then puts the key in his desk and he pulls out a photo of younger him with Dana as a kid. And also there's a little boy. Dana then knocks on the door and it opens, revealing Dana with a cake. Mitchell is surprised that she remembered since apparently it's midnight, and she mentions that she didn't know much about her older brother, but she does know that he would have been 20 today. She lights some candles, telling him to come celebrate. They both make a wish, blowing the candles out. He asks what she wished for and she says probably the same as him. For that car crash to have never happened and that Ryan could still be here. Mitchell has another wish, that no matter what, she'll always know that he loves her. This is getting a little deep on this week of Power Rangers, folks. Later, we see something apparently coming toward the Aqua Base and a scientist leaving, walking by the pool, leaving and turning off the lights. A few bubbles appear and here comes a person out of the water. Then we see some guys walking down the hall and they miss a trail of water. This person is walking toward Captain Mitchell's office. His office doors open and we see the outline of this person as they look with a flashlight. He finds the safe key pretty quickly and he also finds the photo looking at it. We see bits of his face to know that this is a male who seems pissed about the photo. Obvious thing is obvious. He goes to the safe, opening it, and then he retrieves the titanium morpher, leaving. Later, Viper is on a rooftop talking about how this is the last sunrise. She fires some flames from her sword into a building. In the Aqua Base, alarms go off and the Rangers leave via the rescue rover. In a warehouse, Viper tries her best to laugh, but then she's shot at by the morphed Rangers. They talk crap for a little bit before she sends the Batlings after the Rangers, and we see that Captain Mitchell is watching on screen in the Aqua Base. Meanwhile, the Rangers are doing cool fights like they always do. I mean, seriously, Lightspeed Rescue has some damn good fights. Carter gets Viper back while they regroup. He tells her to leave, and she says, "Wild horses couldn't drag me away." Is that a phrase? Then a dark cloud appears above them, and a figure floats on down, revealing the Titanium Ranger. Mitchell is shook. Titanium Ranger refers to himself as their worst nightmare. Getting green with evil vibes here. Mitchell checks his safe, realizing that the morpher is gone. Titanium then fires on them with his blaster axe combo sidearm, and now it's time for him to kick their ass with ease. Everyone in the base is watching, and Miss Fairweather and Mitchell are together now watching. The Rangers get to the rooftop, and the Titanium Ranger is stalking toward them. Carter calls out for the rescue bird using his unilaser, but the Titanium Ranger gets the laser in his weapon, converting it into the axe, firing it back at them. Miss Fairweather is panicked, saying that they'll get killed. Mitchell tells them to retreat, and Carter tells them that they have to go, and they run off. Mitchell is defeated looking. Also, Diabolico shows up, telling Titanium that he's the perfect addition to their team. Soon, the city will be theirs. Miss Fairweather tells the Rangers how the morpher got stolen, and they realize it had to come from someone in Lightspeed. Mitchell says it's enough. They have to get it back ASAP. In the Skull Cavern, they realize they could actually win here. Diabolico talks about how this guy really mastered the powers of the Titanium Ranger and they'll be taking back their homeland. The Rangers are out looking for the Titanium Ranger apparently, talking about how it's too quiet. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know how or why. Chad and Kelsey see a big thing go by, so they go downtown. There, the Titanium Ranger has landed, making civilians run in panic. The Rangers show up in the rescue rover asking who the Titanium Ranger is. He says that it doesn't matter anymore. He also says how the Rangers can't beat him. Lightspeed, rescue! The five then charge forward, but they're taken care of pretty easily by Titanium. Captain Mitchell has his headset on again, watching this fight from the boardroom. The Rangers are really getting blown up by the Titanium laser, and Mitchell tells Miss Fairweather that they're out of time. Despite not testing it, they're activating the V-Lancers, which the Rangers call forth. They're like big, cool lances. They use these new weapons, charging forward, and even then the Titanium Ranger seems pretty okay. They get the Titanium laser away from him, and Carter pushes him back with the V-Lancer. They realize he's near his laser, running forward. Miss Fairweather tells the Rangers to get to blaster mode, and they do, completing their Spectra Blast, which hits the Titanium Ranger down. In the debris and flames, he stands up, turning around to reveal that his visor is gone with a mouth guard there. Mitchell sees, quietly saying, "No." Carter tells him to stand down, but his visor re-equips and he starts coming toward them. Miss Fairweather tells the Rangers to go to energy level 10 and they're about to fire, and Mitchell screams, "Don't fire!" He then says, "Hold your fire." The Rangers power down the V-Lancers as the Titanium Ranger collapses. They start to leave and the Titanium Ranger tells them to come back. In the boardroom, the Rangers come in angry, saying that was their chance, and he knows that they have the V-Lancers. They're pissed, but Carter calms down, asking why they were stopped. Captain Mitchell then turns around, plainly saying, "Because he's my son. To be continued." Well then, a lot to unpack in this episode. Captain Mitchell has a son, and Dana has an older brother that died in a car crash, apparently, and he would have been 20 that day. He appears to have stolen the Titanium Morpher somehow, and now he's living with the demons, and he's the new evil 6th Ranger. The Titanium Ranger is actually the first of just a handful of American exclusive Power Ranger suits seen in the show, and we won't get to any others until I think Jungle Fury. It's really interesting that they made their own silver-ish Ranger, mimicking what they would think a Japanese 6th Ranger suit would look like with this team of Rangers. It's done super well, and it's a very cool concept. As for the story, wow, things got pretty deep. But we're left with a lot of questions. So how will they be answered? Find out next time, but until then, may the power protect you.